Welcome to Revolution Revisited, your crash course in the American Revolution. This podcast is brought to you by the Virginia Museum of History and Culture and made possible by the generous support of William and Karen Fralin. Join us as we dive into the stories of Virginia's rebels, rule breakers, and rabble rousers.
The revolution's been used by people of all different economic and political interests over the last 250 years for their own causes and purposes.
They really had two different interests. They wanted to make things right with the empire. They also wanted to protect their rights.
Washington, he is a young guy when a lot of this stuff is happening, and he acts like it. He is vain. He is seeking out advancement in his career. He wants more money. That really helps us understand him, I think, in a meaningful way.
So what was supposed to be a decade of peace and prosperity actually is the road to revolution. There's a certain irony in that, which I hope everyone can appreciate.
The best example of a kind of revolutionary space is going to be the Raleigh Tavern in Williamsburg. Inebriation and drunkenness is going to lead some pretty colorful debates for those revolutionary and more radical thinkers.
A lot of these enslaved men heard these conversations. This idea of freedom and liberty is making its way into the enslaved community, and they are taking it on board.
That statue of King George III will be torn down, and the women in the town will work to melt that statue down to make about 42,000 cartridges that American soldiers could then use to fire at King George's troops.
People write home and say, wow, these guys from Virginia, they're really radical. They're going to get things done here.
Join us as we revisit the revolution. This podcast is brought to you by the Virginia Museum of History and Culture and made possible by the generous support of William and Karen Fralin. Season 1, coming soon.